Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So in less than 10 years, if no action is taken by Congress and the President to change Social Security, unfortunately there is not going to be enough money in the trust fund to pay out 100% of the benefits. And because of that, they're going to have to cut benefits across the board by up to 26%. So we're going to be going over what one congressman is saying is the biggest threat to Social Security in 2024. Plus, one state's governor just told on herself that she shot her own dog many years ago, and while she thought that would actually be a good thing for her, of course, she is facing a lot of backlash for that. Shocker, shocker, I know. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $10,000 in free stocks or $10,000 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Moomoo. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least $100. At that point, Moomoo will be sending you at least 7 free stocks worth all the way up to $10,000. If you really just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stocks, is just sell them for what they're worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our lead story of today's video, and we had one state's governor just recently release her memoir, and one of the stories she had in there was sort of about how sometimes you have to make difficult decisions, and she was saying that's sort of what makes her a good governor and perhaps a good potential vice president and perhaps even a good future president of the United States. But one thing she didn't realize is that this really wouldn't be that popular of a story or make herself portray herself in the best of lights, I guess. So one of the stories that she told was actually that she, at one point in time, she had to shoot her own dog, although in her mind this was actually for a good reason, and it was a difficult decision that had to be made at the time. And now, of course, shocker, shocker, right? She is now facing a lot of backlash, not just from Democrats because she's a Republican, but also from her own Republicans as well. So according to Politico, Dems GOP bashed Kristi Noem for shooting her dog. So both Democrats and Republicans are piling on after South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem revealed in her upcoming memoir that she shot and killed her 14-month-old puppy named Cricket because of the dog's alleged misbehavior. In her new memoir, Noem writes that she unsuccessfully tried to channel Cricket's puppy energy into a hunting pheasant. Instead, Cricket went out of her mind with excitement, chasing all those birds and having the time of her life. On the way home from hunting, Noem writes the dog escaped her truck and attacked a local family's chickens, behaving like an untrainable assassin. Noem said that she left the wire-haired pointer to a gravel pit and ended its life. She said, quote, "We love animals, but tough decisions like this happen all the time on a farm," Noem tweeted after the story had already gone viral. According to The Guardian, Noem relayed the grisly story to illustrate her willingness to do difficult, messy, and ugly things when necessary. Instead, the story has prompted pushback from Republicans and Democrats alike. So one governor of Minnesota, in Tim Walz, on X, formerly known as Twitter, said, "Post a picture with your dog that doesn't involve shooting them and throwing them in a gravel pit." So not sure, again, exactly how Noem would have released this story in her book and thought it wouldn't receive pushback. I mean, while it definitely does point to sometimes you do have to make difficult decisions, at the same time, shooting your own dog when Americans and people in general love their dogs, especially in this culture, not a good look on her part, to say the least. And then, of course, we even had MAGA media personality and Trump ally in Laura Loomer. She even offered harsher criticism, saying the ugly chapter was disqualifying for Noem's vice presidential chances. She said she can't be VP now. You can't shoot your dog and then be VP. So apparently, to qualify for being vice president of the United States, you can't shoot your own dog. I think I could get on board with that. Now, in some other news, of course, as far as Social Security goes, we have a huge election coming up. It's not only going to be voting Trump versus Biden, we're also going to be voting in some Senate races. And then, of course, all the House seats are up for grabs as well. So we have to be looking at these candidates and see what their stance is on Social Security. Do they want to cut it all together? Do they want to remove the program? Or do they want to keep it around for decades to come and perhaps even increase benefits as well? So according to CNBC, voters who show up at the polls this November may not just be choosing among Republicans or Democrats in third-party tickets, but also casting a vote on the future of Social Security. They go on to say that Social Security's trust funds are projected to run out in the next decade, which will prompt an across-the-board benefit cut of at least 20% if no changes happen sooner. As Congress weighs that dilemma, they will also decide Social Security's future role in Americans' lives. And we actually had one congressman come out recently and say what he believed the biggest threat to Social Security is in 2024. Let's go ahead and watch.
As you said, Social Security is a lifeline for many older Americans. So what do you think is the biggest threat facing the program?
I think the biggest threat facing the program is congressional inaction. The American people completely understand it. All demonstrate that Republicans, independents, and Democrats all believe, even polls that say, if you personally had to pay more, would you do so? And they say yes. Why? Because it's a guarantee. You know, we used to have to go back to 1929 and cite the Great Crash. But now you only have to go back to 2008, 2009, when people saw their 401k become a 101k and experienced losses that they hadn't before. And during that same time, Social Security never missed a payment. Not a disability payment, not a spousal, not a dependent, or a pension payment was missed by the 70 million people that get Social Security.
So leave your thoughts and comments below about that. Do you believe with John Larson that is the biggest threat to Social Security in 2024? Congress not acting on this issue at all. Now, meanwhile, surprisingly enough, a lot of Americans are actually surprisingly upbeat about the future of Social Security. So we actually have some new polling in from Gallup. So they say that half of U.S. non-retirees actually expect to receive Social Security benefits when they retire, so you can see that. And then also the majority of U.S. retirees expect to avoid a cut in Social Security benefits. So not only do Americans believe that they will continue receiving Social Security benefits when they retire, but they also believe that there is not going to be a cut that takes place. And then finally, younger non-retirees now are more likely to believe that they will receive Social Security benefits when they retire. So even though Congress is not yet acting, current retirees and people not yet receiving benefits, those who are going to be receiving benefits in the future, if it sticks around, are actually surprisingly upbeat about the future. They believe that, I guess, Congress will take action at some point in time, and Social Security is going to be one of the programs that sticks around for a longer period of time. But let me know in the comment section below what you think about the future of Social Security. Do you think that lawmakers will get something done to make sure that we are not going to have those cuts of once again up to 26%? Or do you think they're going to continue to kick this can down the road and then we're going to possibly see this program go away altogether? Leave your thoughts and comments below, but that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.